So let's go directly to the shloka. I request you all to kindly. How do we do? Should I explain the shloka and then you read translation, or you read translation, I should explain shloka? Kaise kare?
Read translation.
Okay, we'll do that.
Or either way, as you
No. Vote. Chalega, everyone. Okay, fine. Arjuna vacha ye shastra vridhimutsrijya yajante shraddhayanvita tesham nishtha tu ka Krishna sattvam maho rajastamaha. Somebody please read the translation.
Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of scripture, but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance?
Good. So now, why has Arjuna asked this question? We need to understand. What was the conclusion of 16th chapter? You just now said. Yes. Live your life, not just read. Align your life as per Shastras. So that was the conclusion. Align your life as per Shastras. Okay. And what was the 16th chapter all about? It was about demoniac qualities.
Divine and demonic nature.
Yes, exactly. So now who is defined as a demon? Who is defined as a demigod in general? Aapko koi demon, if a general characteristic of demon. What is the general characteristic of demon? Please sit on the mattress. I'm telling you, no problem. Please come ahead.
One who does not follow the instruction of Lord.
That is one definition. There's one more. Yes, very specifically. Yes, वो qualities हो गए. But in general, starting में बोला था मैंने 16 chapter के. Huh? Scary. Appearance. Oh, there have been demons who put a very deceptive look. Could anyone identify Putna was not a demon? She took the form of Lakshmi. Right? So looks are deceptive. Shurpanaka. Oh, she was very beautiful. She, at that point of time, apparently she was looking more beautiful than Sita also. That's how she had made her looks. Sita was like a forest dweller. So she was like a princess. Looks are deceptive. Right? There can be polished demons also. Demon is one who does not worship. जो worship नहीं करता, पूजा आराधना पाठ नहीं, खास करके Vishnu Dveshi, doesn't worship Vishnu, is a demon. So now the question of Arjuna, why it arises, is what if somebody worships Krishna but according to their own imagination? Abhi samajh mein aaya? Not following scriptures. See, demon means two definitions. One thing is not worshipping God. Number two, not following scriptures. So Arjuna is asking now, what if somebody is worshipping God but not following scriptures? That is why the 17th chapter is come. इसलिए हमारे लिए पूछा गया ना. 17th chapter is a very practical chapter. Relevant question. क्योंकि बहुत लोग क्या करते हैं? Once I saw there was a boy. This boy was carrying a basket. मैंने बोला क्या है, कौन है, क्या है इसमें? बोला इसमें मेरे लड्डू गोपाल है. अच्छा ठीक है, लड्डू गोपाल ठीक है. Then I used to always carry with him and then place him लड्डू गोपाल जी. अभी क्या है? अभी लड्डू गोपाल जी को टीवी देखना है. So you turn on the television and you put लड्डू गोपाल जी टीवी देखेंगे. Yes. और फिर अभी क्या है? अभी लड्डू गोपाल जी को हम लोग जो है पास्ता खिलाएंगे. And he was actually feeding it. He was putting it in the mouth. I said, this is not the way to offer. He said, नहीं, मैं ऐसा नहीं करूंगा तो नाराज हो जाएंगे वो. मतलब भाई, तो 17th chapter पढ़ ले पहले. So people have their own imaginations of how to worship God. It's not as per scriptures. Then Arjuna is very clear that they surely are not in Shuddha Sattva. They are not in Bhakti. That is sure. So they are under three modes. That also is clear. मतलब देखिए कितने ज्ञानी पुरुष हैं. So it's always good to have a student like Arjuna in our class. हाँ ना? He directly put, this is उसका क्या होगा? क्या वो demon है नहीं है? No, he's not asking that question. He's asking which mode they are under. Because clearly a devata is in which mode? Sattva mode. And a demon is in actually Rajagun. Actually Rajagun. And the Bhoot, Pret, Pishachas, Rakshasas, they are in ignorance. They are in Tamagun. This is kind of wet, so I'm taking it off. No, not no, sorry. So I will. I'll get a design. Design आ जाएगा उसका. Actually, it happens. The saffron cloth never gets dirty with anything. दाल, सब्जी, कुछ भी गिरे, कितना गिरा है. But फूल जो है, they are very powerful. They put all marks. रंग बिरंगा हो जाता है. I have experience. That's why I'm taking it up, especially wet flowers. Yes.
You also not Satyavadis, right? You are also mostly Rajavadis.
Good morning. सही है. सत्वगुण दूर की बात है. Very far.
Between Rajoguna and Tamoguna.
We are actually खिचड़ीज. Actually खिचड़ी है, सब कुछ है. There is no definite. Sometimes सत्व ने कंट्रोल कर लिया, चलो मन किया, हम लोग जो है मेडिटेट करेंगे, शांत रहेंगे. Mostly human beings are driven by passion. Mostly. Then what are the demons then? Humans और demons के बीच में क्या फर्क है? Because demons passion, human also passion. Human beings are driven by passion and they remain in passion. The demons, what they do is they exhibit passion for destructive purposes. They are demonic. And if humans do that, then they are demons. Demons are mostly in passion. And the bhoot, pret, pishachas, rakshasas, these kind of spirits, they are all in tamagun. So they are in ignorance. That's what they are. So as he rightly said, scary. They are the ones who are scary actually. Demon, now if you see Hiranyakashipu is Daitya. Demon means Daitya. So who are his parents? One is a Brahmana and Diti was a princess. Daksh Maharaj ki beti. So he is actually from Uchchakul. You leave that. What was Ravana? Ravana was a son of Brahmana. Yes, Pulatsa Rishi's grandson. So you look at the lineage. But other side was demon. Khichdi. In today's, especially Kali Yuga, everything is khichdi. You can't define Varna, nothing. So that is why what does Shastra say? Yasya yal lakshanam proktam pumso varna abhi vanjakam. Whatever lakshanas, what are the qualities they exhibit? Basis the qualities, there is categorization. You can categorize based on qualification. I told you Singapore ka story, na? Juice. Yes. I'm not going to repeat that again. Repeat telecast kisi ko nahi chahiye wo sunne ke baad. But the point is now they were looking coat suit, boot tie, refined gentlemen. Exactly. They were living in posh and clean floorings, amazing ceilings. What a lighting. Kaisa environment mein, but what are the activities? So andar jo hai wo bahar aa hi jata hai. Just like one day there was a king who was passing by and he saw a bit of waste lying there, filth lying there, and there was a dog who was rummaging out there something. He wanted to take something from there. So the king felt pity. Poor dog. So what to do? King ne bola main to raja hu, main kuch bhi kar sakta hu. So he took the dog onto his chariot and told, isko main kal ek din ka raja ghoshit karunga. I will make him king for one day. So he arranged for a royal dress to be stitched. He will not wear my Mahaprasad. Yes, he will wear his own royal dress. He asked the goldsmiths and all the designers to make a designer crown for this kutta, for this dog. So designer crown, designer, he's going to wear wares, and we're going to have a special couch arranged for him, a throne. सब कुछ special इसके लिए, कुत्ते के लिए एक दिन, because कुत्ते को, that's when this particular statement came, every dog has its day. इधर से आया वो, यही story probably. There in the Panchatantra. There in the Panchatantra. Yes, and the Shastra says सब कुछ है. Every dog has its day. इधर से आया वो. So this dog was about to have his day. So the dog was put on the high pedestal, and there were musicians who were singing for the pleasure of dog, and the dog was watching. There were musicians who were playing. There were singers who were singing. There were dancers who were dancing. There were sweetmeats being brought, and this dog was right there on the throne. From a long distance. Now, कुत्ते का speciality क्या है? भौंकने के अलावा, please. Smelly, yeah. He has a very, very strong smelling sense. Yes. So the sense of smell is very, very strong. And he can catch anything from a great distance. So there was a scavenger who was going from that side. And as soon as the kutta saw this, this was a pomp arranged for him. Such a humongous arrangement. As soon as the scavenger went, immediately threw his crown, threw the poshak, sabko dance, sab gaya. Let it all go to drain. He ran towards that scavenger in search for a bone. एक हड्डी मिलेगी किसी मुर्गी की या फिर किसी की. So he went there and started licking it. What does this mean? What is the moral of the story? Yes. कुत्ते की पूंछ टेढ़ी की टेढ़ी. Exactly. Yes. So how much ever you try to patch up the tendency with externals, you can wrap up, you can brush everything under the rug, but the reality is soon exposed. Same thing with Putna. She came as a Lakshmi, but when she was dying, she got exposed. Shurpanaka, she was exposed. Everybody will be exposed someday or other. So similarly, that Singapore story, you can ask them probably in the end, what is it? They are wondering, Prabhu ji, क्यों suspense रख रहे हैं? Because उनको PhD कराया है इसमें, 2-3 बार सुना चुका हूँ मैं. I think bro, और मत सुनाइए. It is the end is quite very, it's very depressing end. आप उनसे सुन लीजिए. You can hear it off in the end. So what happens is they were also exposed in the end. Correct? So the reality gets exposed. That's what is a demon. Demon gets exposed in the end. So kitna bhi show kare, and demons do that. That's called dambha. That's one of the qualities, dambha. They make a show. They are not worshipping, but they make a show of good worship. They make a show of being religious. Ravana also, what did he do? He made a show of being a mendicant. Vekshandehi bhavati vekshandehi. What a rascal-minded person. He is calling her mother. Oh, mother. Mother bula raha hai. And this is how you deal with mother? Mother means worshipable. Mataji, that's Vedic culture. Avadi Vikshandehi, Mate Vikshandehi, and then you are trying to molest him. This is crooked mentality of a demon. Right? And that person also is exposed. So they make a show for achieving their agenda, temporary agenda, and then everything is accomplished. This is a demon. For accomplishing agenda, they can become even religious and very nice. And they have an agenda to accomplish. Wo ho gaya? Khatam. Finished. Correct. So now this is the question of Arjuna. Sattva, Rajas or Tamas? What is it? So let us see what does Krishna answer. I explained the sloka, right? Very easy. Yes, Shastra miti mutsrijya. They are giving up the Shastras. Yajante Shraddhanvita. Shraddha ke sath, pure Shraddha, Asta, Nishtha ke sath, they are worshipping. Yajante, they are worshipping. Tesham Nishtha tu ka Krishna. What do you call about such a faith? Or such a Nishtha, such a determination? Oh, what do you call Krishna? Tu ka Krishna. What is it? Sattvam, Aho, Rajastama. You call it Sattva or Raja or Tam? What is it? So good question, right? Let's see, Krishna gives a good answer also. Abhi Krishna gives answer, then he goes on to explain the answer. That is the 17th chapter. Just sometimes a person asks a question, teacher gives the answer and then elaborates the answer for the rest of the class. Right? This is what is going to happen. Krishna will answer it one line immediately. This is called Siddhi Baat, no Bakwas. This is what we took the title of Siddhi Baat from Krishna only. Siddhi Baat. Very straight away. He will, question is asked, straight answer. There is no either mateda, meda, either udhar, kuch nahi, straight. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Trivida Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja Sattviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shruno.
I have Hindi version.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds: in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this.
So what is Lord telling? It depends. It can be anything. Isliye to class hai pura. The rest of the other, you will find there are totally 28 slokas in 17th chapter. Totally 72. 28 are there in the 17th chapter. So the other slokas, what is that all about? The other slokas are all about elaboration of this. It depends on what factor does it depend. Those factors will be explained. And in fact, this chapter spills over to the next chapter also. 18th chapter maybe is a continuation. There is carry forward. It's a carry forward because it's a huge concept. Which is there. In between only Arjun gets a doubt and he breaks the chapter. And that's why 18th chapter starts. But actually this goes on even in the mid of 18th chapter. उधर तक जाता है discussion. मतलब बहुत ही गंभीर discussion. There are many factors. which are determining this particular thing. So what is it? Trivida bhavati shraddha. Yes. You have asked about the shraddha. There are three types. Trivida bhavati. Dehinam sa swabhavaja. Jaise hi somebody is a dehinam. Dehinam means we are all dehinams. We have occupied a body. Yes. So all the embodied. Swabhavaja. You will have a particular swabhav. Har ek ka ek swabhav hota hai. Swabhav means nature. Yes. So I was looking at Adya and Tanvi. Still it is very confusing. Who is Adya, who is Tanvi, twin sisters. That is because the subconscious mind is much more powerful than conscious mind. So I subconsciously said Adya Tanvi. But my conscious mind doesn't know. My subconscious mind knows it. Correct? So इसलिए वो हो गया. वो flow में आ गया. Adya and Tanvi. And they have different natures. Nature is different. Swabhava. Yes. Genetically, DNA strand के हिसाब से it is the same. Same DNA. But दोनों के अंदर जो soul है वो अलग है. Yes. Body is same, but soul is different. On the other hand, Nakul Sahadev को उल्टा होता है. Nakul Sahadev type of people are actually one soul and two bodies. Nakul Sahadev, Ashwini Kumars. Ashwini Kumars are in charge of this nostril. So nostril ये एक है या दो है?
Nostril दो है लेकिन passage
Confusing हो गया ना? So Ashwini Kumaras are in charge of the nasal passage. Actually, there is only one, but there are two outlets. But there is Ingada, Peda. We can have two different kinds of breathing techniques, which is there. Actually, इन दोनों को अलग करना चाहिए. आप वो दीदी के साथ जाके बैठो. कम मार खाओगे. टेबल टेनिस खेल रहे हैं उनका. हाँ?
He's a backbencher now. Most of the time, we purposely doing it also so that you send him back.
ऐसे क्या? तो आप पीछे जाइए, आप आगे आओ. ये रो उधर. You आप भी खुश रहो. She is attending. She is really attentive. You be here.
He's saying fine.
हाँ?
He's saying why he's going back.
बैक और भी बैक जा सकते हैं. उधर तक है. ठीक है. देही नाम स्वभाव. So everyone has a different स्वभाव. As soon as you get a body, you have a स्वभाव. Actually, we have a swabhav, that's why we have body. We carry a nature, the nature is subtle body. The 15th chapter will clarify this. 15th chapter clarifies because you have a swabhav, according to a swabhav, you get the next body. The kind of swabhav we have at the end when we are quitting the body, that will decide your next body. Yes? So because of a swabhava, the body is born. Yes? Dehinam sa swabhavaja satviki rajasi chaiva tamasi cheti tamshunu. So on what factors this depends? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, kis factor pe depend karta hai? That is the rest of the chapter. So it can be anything. The Shraddha, the kind of faith that you have. These people can be categorized in any mode. What are the parameters? That Krishna is going to explain in Shloka number 3 onwards. And this will go on, even beyond the chapter 18. So let us see the next one. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddhamayo ayam purusho Yo yat shraddaha sa eva saha. Translation.
O son of Bharata, according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of particular faith according to modes he has acquired.
Yes. So he gives the connection between the faith and the three gun. Teen gun jo hai, sattva gun, rajogun, tamagun. So these ultimately, the gunas, they will nourish a person's faith. So person derives nourishment from the three modes. So how exactly does one attract that particular mode? This should be the question. ठीक है, हमारा श्रद्धा जो है, इसका श्रद्धा तमोगुण द्वारा है, इसका रजोगुण, उसका सत्वगुण. We may say that, but why is that person being nourished by sattvagun? Why is that person nourished by rajogun? Why is that person nourished by tamogun? Uske piche there is a story. Now, there's a very famous story which I have spoken in the 14th chapter. I'll speak again because it's very relevant to concept. Once there was one of my friends who was in college, he was taking a walk in the nearby areas outside the campus. Hostel से बाहर थोड़ा टहलने के लिए. It was like this time only. यही time होगा. Almost Sunday 5-6 बजे almost. When it's not yet dark but about to get dark वैसे. So that time he was just taking a stroll outside. So suddenly he saw there is another gully which is going. अरे ये क्या गली है? This street. I never saw this street. What is this street? So let me try. So the person goes inside that street. Please listen attentively. I'm going to ask lessons. I'm going to ask you questions. This is this. So he goes inside. As soon as he goes inside, he sees that there are so many different shops, small shops, selling different varieties of commodities and goods. And from one shop, he heard a sound, करके, like that. Huh? मैं? आ जाओ. So he went inside. And they showed him. Now I'm going to ask some questions to all of you because मुझे किसी भी प्रकार के शॉपिंग को जाके बहुत साल हो गए. I have not gone for any shopping, nothing. I've been to mall. Yes. Which mall? This Phoenix Mall. Why? To watch the movie, the mantra, the movement, and the Swami. The Srila Prabhupada's movie. वो देखने के लिए गया था. Yes, उसका जब स्ट्रीमिंग हुआ था उसके तब गया था मैं. भगवद गीता डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बाहर ही किया, अंदर नहीं किया. बाहर ही किया. जो आ रहे थे मॉल, जो जा रहे थे, दे विल नॉट टेक. ये क्या है? बट दोस्तों वापस आ रहे थे वो सब ले रहे थे. दिखाओ ये क्या है? एटलीस्ट इससे तो मिलेगा कुछ. अंदर कुछ मिला नहीं, बाहर ही कुछ मिल जाए. यस, किस्मत का ताला खुल जाए, दे दो. दे विल टेक इट आउटसाइड. अंदर कुछ नहीं मिला उनको, तो बाहर मिलेगा कुछ. बाहर मिल गए भगवान. लाइक दैट. So I had gone inside for watching the movie about Prabhupada. Everybody had gone, all devotees together. It's gone, all Prabhus. Can you imagine? I always shocked. ये क्या है? सब स्वामी सैफरॉन व्हाइट शेवन हेड सब मिलके जा रहे हैं अंदर. महाराज जा रहे हैं, बाबा स्वामी पंडित सब लोग मिलके जा रहे हैं. कौन सी मॉल में कैसे आए लोग? So we are going for that movie. उसके लिए गए थे हम लोग. Radhesham bro also had come. We were all together. When the movie was released, 2017. Yeah, 17 में release हुई थी. Okay, so the point is coming back. So he went inside. So I'll ask you some questions. Please answer. He saw that there was a shirt. Shirt कितने का आता है? You are the one who went to mall. बताओ.
It can start mall में. Mall is 800 to 8,000 also.
अच्छा ठीक है. 800 starting price. He was getting.
You can start from 200 also. I mean, it depends on where you go.
उधर 80 रुपए का मिल रहा था. 800 ने 80. 110 the price. So, wow. And एकदम jazzy, classy, gaudy looking. Pant, jeans.
I think again, I mean, it depends on where you buy from, but
अरे बोल दो बस. हाँ?
1,000, 2,000.
100 रुपए में मिल रहा था. बेल्ट अच्छे क्वालिटी का बेल्ट. You got my strategy. Belt.
15.
हाँ? 100 को मिल रहा था. 110 नहीं किया इस बार. चेंज थोड़ा चेंज भी आई. You don't follow the protocol. So 100 रुपए में मिल रहा था. Right? So he was getting all this and he was excited. वाह, इतने कम प्राइस में मिल रहा है. बट कभी भी कोई चीज कम प्राइस में मिले तो क्या आता है? समोसे का रेट कितना है जगन्नाथ में? आई डोंट नो. आई एम आस्किंग. आई एम एक्चुअली आस्किंग. इज इट 20 और 15? 20. आपको कोई 2 रुपए में खिला रहा है तो क्या होगा? आप लोगे? हाँ, इमीडिएटली. ए कुछ गंदा होगा, खराब होगा, ऐसी बनाया. पानी कौन सा यूज किया? तेल कौन सा यूज किया? कुछ तो गड़बड़ होगा. कल का है क्या? हाँ, कल का भी हो सकता है. दाल में कुछ काला है. Yes, you'll get such question. So he got enamored, he got fascinated, he got enthralled. He was about to take out his pocket, but then he felt कि कुछ तो. So he said, बस 1 मिनट मैं थोड़ा पापा से पूछ के आता हूँ. कुछ नहीं कर सकते तुम. They stopped him. अब तुमको लेना ही पड़ेगा. He said, पर मुझे नहीं चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं. Then he called. 2 गुंडे आ गए वहां पे. They came like this. It's actual story. I'm not making it up. I'm not faking it. So they came like this. They stood. If you don't take, वो तुम्हारी पिटाई कर देंगे. Then whatever he had to pay and he had to take those things. Next day, he just put the shirt in water. कलर तो गया, श्रिंक भी हो गया. जाली माल था. जीन्स पहनते ही हट गया. बेल्ट डालते ही बकल में वो डाला, वो निकल गया, अंदर छेद भी गया. So he was, in one sense, what happened to him? He was cheated by force. तो इस बंदे को गलती कहाँ हो गई बता, व्हाट वेंट रॉन्ग? गलत गली तो हम सब ने पकड़ लिया ऑलरेडी.
Gully galat kiya, you could be adventurous, you might want to explore things, you can go to new avenues actually. And the point is that he should go and start assessing, analyzing without sort of understanding what he's getting into.
But unless you get into, you will not understand what you're getting into.
It's a good
Kana wanted to say something. Again, now coming close to the answer. Exactly, I was looking for this only. One Hari bol for him. Hari bol. That वो सुनना नहीं चाहिए था, वो ओवरलुक करके अपने आप चलना चाहिए था. सिमिलरली हम लोग क्या करते हैं, वो माया का वो सुन के गलती करते, उधर फंसते हैं. और एक बार वो मोड के अंदर फंस गए, देन यू आर ट्रैप्ड, देन यू वो उधर घुसना ही पड़ेगा. यू कैन नॉट कीप ब्लेमिंग द मोड्स. सम पीपल में से मैं सो गया, क्या मैं नहीं सोया, तो तमोगुण ने मेरे को सुला दिया. ओवर ईटिंग किया, देखा अब भी जो है यू आर पासिंग मोशंस. व्हाट इज दिस? मैंने नहीं किया, रजोगुण कंट्रोल मी, एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ व्हिच आई एम गेटिंग दिस प्रॉब्लम. सो सब ब्लेम रजोगुण का है. बट हु गॉट इन्फ्लुएंस्ड? इट्स वी हु गॉट इन्फ्लुएंस्ड. एंड हाउ डू यू गेट इन्फ्लुएंस? दैट इज बाय डिजायरिंग. Because this is the only power that the soul has to desire. इच्छा की, हंस गए. इच्छा means गया, फिर उसके बाद मोड अटैक्स. And now we may say, Prabhuji, how do this thoughts which come? They're so horrible thoughts sometimes. I feel ashamed of myself. Such bad thoughts coming. But mind you, these thoughts are a resultant of your desires either in this life or past life. You have attracted these thoughts. Don't blame anyone else. So now what can be done? वो तो बता दीजिए. अभी समझ गए, सुधर गए, या फिर सुधरना चाहते हैं. We want to improve. What exactly do we do now? As soon as the thought crosses by, we should immediately offer a prayer. Hey Bhagwan, oh Krishna, I had desired this in the past, लेकिन अभी इसकी जरूरत मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं है, नहीं चाहिए. There was one of our youth boys. Yes, he had gone into company. In his company, he got a team of four girls, and they were all poking him, trying to talk to him. Hi, udhar. Or devotee, matlab, अरे बाप रे, so very careful in dealing with opposite gender. And he came and admitted, Prabhuji, देखिए ना, what material nature is arranged for me. What is the test of Maya? In my team, there are 4-5 girls, all my batchmates. देखिए कैसे arrange कर दिया मुझे. This counselor gave me a very brilliant answer. Prabhu, you have desired this in the past. Yes, Prabhuji, I used to desire before becoming devotee. But अभी पता लग गया, अभी क्या करें? Now what to do? पहले अच्छा लगता था, पहले I desired this. But now no, this is not what I desire for. Right? So now you have to be careful. So what we desired in the past, it may come to you. Like Dhruv Maharaj also. What did he desire for? A kingdom greater than Brahma. He wanted Vaikuntha Lok, Sakshat. And that's where the Vaikuntha, the Vishnu Dutas take him. That they tell him, you are going to go to such a place which nobody has attained before. Kisi ko nahi mila aisa. Your own Vaikuntha planet. Yani ki you will be ruling over the Vaikuntha. That's called Dhruv Lok. The Polaris that we can see. That's a Vaikuntha Lok. It's not an ordinary planet of this material world. It is a spiritual world. भगवान का ही planet है वो. भगवान ने उसके नाम कर दिया. Take it. It's greater than Brahma also. And he was saying, नहीं. काचा में चिन्ह में मापी. I was looking for broken pieces of glass. No, I don't want it. नहीं, अभी लिया, लेना पड़ेगा. You have to do it. So now, how do you deal with it? By increasing your consciousness through prayer, by chanting, understanding that now this desire is coming and knocking my door. It's like a guest. You know, please come to my house. So there's okay, आ रहा हूँ. On the way, and by the time the knock हो जाते, तब तक आपका हृदय परिवर्तन हो गया. Now the person is waiting outside. What will you do? Get out! अरे तुमने तो बुलाया था मेरे को. I said get out. निकलो. अरे कैसा बदतमीज इंसान है भाई. आपने तो बुलाया था. So what do? You cannot avoid it. But we have to understand that we have desired it in the past. All we can do is we have to improve our consciousness. Nothing else we can do. Bhagavan, I wanted it in the past. Abhi nahi chahiye. I don't want it. Yes, I want you only. ये क्लैरिफाई करना चाहिए. भगवान सच में बोलेंगे, फिर भगवान क्या करेंगे? भगवान जो है वो गेस्ट को एक कॉल करेंगे, आप इधर मत जाओ, इधर आ जाओ, ठीक है, वो गेस्ट गया. कृष्णा डज दैट. ही हैज नंबर ऑफ एवरीबडी ना. उनके पास येलो पेजेस पूरा भरा हुआ है. कृष्णा में येलो धोती, येलो पेजेस सब कुछ है. सो यू नो एवरीबडीज फोन नंबर, सब कुछ स्टोर है भगवान का. ही हैज अनलिमिटेड स्टोरेज. तो उसको फोन करके कहीं और बुला लेंगे एंड यू विल बी एस्केप. सो कृष्णा वांट्स टू सी दैट सिंसियरिटी. यू वांट दैट और यू वांट मी. अभी when we are coming to this path, we are getting awakened. So that time there's a test, everything. अरे प्रभु जी पहले, how many of you really had this experience that you desired something in the past, but after coming to these Gita classes, after chanting Hare Krishna, वो चीज मिल गया हमको, and now you don't want it? Yes, yes. अरे ये तो नहीं चाहिए था अभी. No, I don't want it. आप भी कितना राउंड करते हो? एक माला इन अ वीक, वो भी बहुत हो गया. पक्का? आपको है ना, मैं सेटिंग करके दीदी के साथ सेटिंग करके देता हूँ. कौन सी वाली? जेल नहीं, जेल सुपर जेल. ये ना, इनको ये एक राउंड रोज करना चाहिए. इट्स योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. हाँ, आप करेंगे तो ही कोई करेगा. बिठा के करना है, इधर उधर मस्ती करेगा. यू नो व्हाट टू डू. देखो कनव, अगली बार कनव विल बी लाइक कनव मुनि. एक्चुअली मुनि का नाम है, पता है ना? द फॉस्टर फादर ऑफ शकुंतला इज कनव. सो लाइक दैट. सो कनव मुनि आएंगे. प्रभु जी, आई एम एलिवेटेड. क्या हो गया? थैंक्स टू दीदी, शी मेड मी चैंट. थोड़ा कम कर दी. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो दैट इज द पावर ऑफ प्रेयर्स. थैंक यू. हम भी ऐसे ही करते हैं. क्या करते हैं? सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन फास्ट कर देते हैं. कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस फास्ट करने के वजह इंद्रिय तृप्ति फास्ट कर देते हैं. यस, दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंस. वन एकादशी वी हैड एक्सपीरियंस. एकादशी हो जाते हैं, एकादशी में तपस्या, और अगले दिन डबल ट्रिपल भर के खाएंगे. अगेन वो तपस्या का जो है एक एक बाइट बदला. एंड एग्जैक्टली ऑन एकादशी डे ओनली वी गेट रिमाइंडेड ऑफ all our favorite items. सब याद आता है, especially with chanting. How many of you have experience? पता है सब कुछ एकादशी के दिन ही सब जो फेवरेट आइटम जो भी है. हाउ टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट्स योर फेवरेट आइटम? आई डोंट वरी, वेट फॉर एकादशी, विल कम टू नो. एवरीथिंग विल कम टू. जितने भी फेवरेट सब निकलेंगे आपके. एंड स्टार्ट चैंटिंग नाउ. हरे कृष्णा, हरे राम लिखते जाओ लिस्ट. ऐसे मत करो. आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू. This is what happens on Ekadashi day. You chant, you get to know all your favorite items. Similarly, you want to find out what is the thing that you're attached to the most. I'm attached to most. पता नहीं. Attachment कब सामने आती है? When things are moving away from you. जो चीजें आपसे निकलती है. That's when you get to know attachment. तो अभी तो पास में सब. How do you find out? Chanting में कौन-कौन से thoughts आते हैं? You start chanting. The thoughts that come, they are actually your attachments. And that's when you have to tell Krishna, ये नहीं चाहिए मुझे, आप चाहिए. That's the tapasya. Got it right? That's the austerity and tapasya to do. भगवान आप नहीं. That's what ध्रुव महाराज के सामने रख दिया. Now ध्रुव महाराज said, no, I don't want this. I want you. Still Krishna gave him. Why? Because ध्रुवा, you are ready now. पहले तुम ready नहीं थे. पहले तो जानते तो भोग विलास में डूब जाते. But now you are ready, number one. And number two, I want to show everybody, all my devotees. Because many people ask this. कि प्रभु जी हम हरे कृष्णा भी करेंगे, थोड़ा थोड़ा एंजॉय भी करेंगे साथ में. फिर क्या होगा? फिर कृष्ण बहुत टाइम बाद मिलेंगे. मिलके कृष्ण बोलेंगे तुमको ऑल द बेस्ट, कंटिन्यू, इधर ही रहो तुम. पर आप गए. So we will delay. There will be a delay between us and Krishna. The more we are desiring materially, the more we enjoy, we are creating a gap between Krishna. तो मिलेंगे, chanting कर रहे हो तो मिलेंगे. लेकिन what are we doing? We are delaying. We are delaying the process. Plus 2 years, plus 4 years. अब years होता तो कोई बात नहीं. Lifetimes, plus 2 lifetimes, और 4 जन्म बाद, और 10 जन्म बाद, और 100 जन्म बाद. ऐसे करके we are increasing the distance between us and Krishna. That's what we are doing by executing material desires. Or even with desires. With desires, what is happening? Subtle. 1 साल, 2 साल, 3 साल, 4 साल. We may think desire तो क्या मन में ही हो रहा है ना? No. One material desire can take us light years away from Krishna. It's possible. इतना शक्ति है material desire में. But at least habits तो we can try to reform now. Right? We have time for one more shloka. Let's go ahead. So now we understood how we get trapped by modes. Desire. इच्छा कौन करता है? हम करते हैं. इच्छा जैसे की तो कृष्णा will say, अच्छा इच्छा इसने ऐसे की है. Give some इच्छाs please. I'll give you how does Lord operate. Some इच्छा.
More money, more power.
चलो रजोगुण कर दो इसको इन्फ्लुएंस. नेक्स्ट. मोर फूड, फिर से रजोगुण, फिर तमोगुण.
Attachment to near and dear ones.
यस.
Very मोह वाला.
चलो इग्नोरेंस कर दो इसको कवर. हाँ, पैशन कर दो. इग्नोरेंस ले लो. ऐसा करके मोमेंट टू डिजायर फिनिश्ड. हाँ, वेदर भी अच्छा है, आपको बहुत अच्छा लगेगा वेदर. टू गुड. तो सोने का बेस्ट क्लाइमेट. फैन किसकी जरूरत नहीं, बस थोड़ा खिड़की खोल तो नेचुरल हवा आती है. 10th फ्लोर पे तो बहुत ही अच्छा है. वही मैं सोच रहा हूँ, पुणे का मजा लेंगे. पुणे में सोने का मजा. वाह, वो भी संडे की शाम. वापिस नहीं आने वाली. I'll have to wait for another 7 days. ठीक है. Next, last sloka for today's discussion, then we'll have Q&A. यजन्ते सात्विका देवान् यक्ष रक्षांसि तेज रक्ष रक्षास्मि राजसा प्रेतान् भूतगणांश्चान्ये यजन्ते तमसा जनाः. अपने आई थिंक आई विल एक्सप्लेन फर्स्ट. मुझे एक्साइटमेंट हो जाता है. देन आफ्टर दैट आई विल गिव यू चांस टू ट्रांसलेट. दैट्स अ बिट. यजन्ते. So the first category of categorization, or first parameter of categorization is who you worship. किसकी पूजा करते. Number 1. यजन्ते सात्विका देवान. So those who are in sattva gun, they will worship Devi and Devatas. Example. देवी देवता के एग्जाम्पल पूछ रहा हूँ, उपासक के नहीं.
विष्णु.
देवी देवताओं को पूछ रहा हूँ भाई. विष्णु देवी देवता है क्या? वो तो भगवान है. इंद्र, वरुण, सूर्य देव, शनिदेव. कुछ लोग करते हैं ना शनिदेव पूजा. यस. दुर्गा देवी, काली देवी. हाँ, ग्रहास, नवग्रहास, शिवा, ब्रह्मा एक्सेट्रा. सो ये क्या हो गए? देव. तो ये देवता की जैसे उपासक को देखिए. देवता मीन्स क्या है? लक्ष्मी की पूजा. व्हाट इज दिस? दिस इज सात्विक. ओके, नेक्स्ट कैटेगरी. गणपति बाप्पा. नाइस एग्जांपल, राहुल गुरु. राजसा, those who are in rajogun, whom do they worship? They worship yakshas and yaksha rakshamspi. They worship other demons, persons. लोगों की भी पूजा करते हैं लोग. Yes, लोगों की भी करते हैं. There is a famous South Indian actor who has a temple on his name. नाम YouTube पे एटलीस्ट नहीं आएगा. आप लोग समझ गए, क्लास में आ गए. So there are temples for that. People worship. People consider there's a couple. Of course, there's absolutely none of the opulence that they have with Krishna, but the couple को एक साथ बिठा के चेयर पर they worship them as राधा एंड कृष्ण. दूर दूर तक नजर नहीं आते. किस एंगल से भाई राधा कृष्ण दिखते हैं? आई एम स्टिल वंडरिंग. यस, लुक्स आर लाइक, बट फिर भी राधा कृष्ण बोल के पीपल वर्शिप. सो दिस इज दैट काइंड ऑफ वर्शिप. रजोगुण का. यू मेड समवन इनटू गॉड. यस. एंड देयर आर वन, एक दो भाई और एक बहन है. वो तीनों को जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा करके उनकी रथ यात्रा भी देखो. हाथ गाड़ी, वेरी फेमस. आई डोंट वांट टू गिव आउट एनी नेम्स टू यू. गूगल इट, यू विल फाइंड. उन तीनों की हाथ गाड़ी भी निकलती है. दे पीपल कैरी, lakhs and lakhs of people come to pull their cart. और वो तीनों मूछ पूछ के साथ आदमी है वो, like that. So he says, I meet जगन्नाथ. हे माझा भाऊ, हा बलदेव, ही माझी बहीण, ही सुभद्रा आहे. Like that he explains. He is very famous person. Right? So people worship such kind of people. People are worshipping some ordinary human beings. That is also Rajagun. Or people worshipping some kind of other demons. Yes, my role model is Ravan. Yes, that's why there are movies called Ravan. Ravan movie bhi aata hai. My role model is Hiranyakashipu. Uski puja karunga. People do that. Actually, एक व्यक्ति की फोटो में भी उसकी एनर्जी होती है. The photograph has a lot of power. Even previously, people used to draw, na? But draw करेंगे तो उस व्यक्ति की एनर्जी उसमें होती है. Because you put that person's energy. Even writer, when somebody writes something, वो writer की energy भी, thoughts, उसके intentions, वो भी उस book में होते हैं. So you're associating with that writer. That's why there are some kind of, there's a practice. You just touch the book and you understand the content and intent of the writer. As a science भी. Why? Because the writer has stored his energy there. So उसी प्रकार हर एक के फोटो में उसकी एनर्जी होती है. So some people worship the photo of people, the demons. वो उसका वर्शिप करते हैं तो उसका एनर्जी के साथ एसोसिएट करते हैं. Then what about, अरे रजोगुण इतना खतरनाक था, तो तमोगुण क्या होगा? सोच लीजिए. तमोगुण मीन्स प्रेतान भूतागणाम चान्ये. So they worship the spirits. Yes, bhutaganams. The preta is dead people. Bhutaganams are like ghosts. They are the ones. Spirits of dead. They deal with spirits of dead. They call them also Bhutaganam. So उन सब की पूजा करते हैं. They are with them. Okay. And they misuse them to go around. This is tantric science. I had taken 2 sessions of Siddhi Baat show. बहुत हिट हो गया वो. इतने सारे क्वेश्चन आए. तंत्र भूत जहां आ जाते हैं, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आ जाते हैं. That's why here disclaimer दे रहा हूँ. Yes, no booth questions. किसी को भूत का डाउट है, please go to YouTube and see the episode on black magic. I've spoken elaborately 3 hours on it. 1.5 hours के 2 episode है उसके. यजन्ते तमसा जना. So तामसिक लोग जो है यजन्ते. So now one categorization we could see today, and the categorization is who is your object of worship. Who is your object? So sattva gun वाले who is their object of worship? Devi Devatas. What about those who are in Rajogun?
The other people.
Yes, random people or demons.
But
And what?
Someone, there's many inspirational characters also, inspirational people also. We look up to them and try to. कोई gurus भी होते हैं.
Guru, yes, now understand. Now, Guru, good question. I was waiting for that question. Now, when we talk about a guru who's coming properly in Guru Shishya Parampara, Krishna has started 4 sampradayas: Rudra Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya. And these sampradayas have been existing since the beginning of Kali Yuga. He started. So there are 4 acharyas also for this. Brahma Sampradaya, there is Madhvacharya. Rudra Sampradaya, there is Vishnu Swami. Kumar Sampradaya, there is Nimbarka Swami Acharya. And for Sri Sampradaya, there is Ramanujacharya. So they have carried forward the school. In this institution, who has taken Diksha and coming, and you're taking that person, and you're worshipping that person as a guru, not as God, as a guru, then such a worship is equivalent. Yasya prasadat Bhagavad prasado, yasya aprasadan nagati gudu. It's as good as worshipping Krishna. You get same result. Why? Because that person represents Krishna. But if you're talking about some other guru, quote unquote guru, who is just upstart, मेरे को ज्ञान मिल गया. कहां से मिला? आसमान से टपका. आपके गुरु कौन है? मैं ही अपना गुरु हूं. Such kind of people who are fraudulent people. Such worship, then it is in Rajagun.
Like there are many inspirational people also. You try to follow them. We are not worshipping them, but we try to follow.
Rajoguna. Yes, obviously. Under वही तो होता है. Worship मतलब it's not just this puja aradhana thali leke. Worship means you rever in heart. Yes, that's a Rajoguna activated. Then now there must be a question that, my God, can't we even rever somebody? Yes. Now, personally speaking, I also have 2-3 people who are not devotees, but I like their principles, which I follow to serve my guru. Then there is no problem. Like I learn some time management from one person. I learn people and resource management from one more person. I learn communication and oratory skills from another person. I'm learning. It's not that मैं उनकी भक्ति करता हूँ बैठ के उनका ही 3-4-5 घंटा. No, I read my Prabhupada books. I speak Bhagavad. Do I ever talk about them? I'm not even taking their name. So there are those personalities. I see that this is the vibhuti that Krishna has given them. And that vibhuti of Krishna, I am revering. I'm taking it and using it in Krishna's service. Then there is no problem with it.
You call him Sattu.
But you are making it a personality cult. उस व्यक्ति का promote कर रहे हो आप. Then that is Rajogun. You got the point. You got the difference? Okay. So today what we studied, I'll quickly summarize. We just went through 4 verses. We'll be starting from verse number 5. Abhi fast ho jayega. Because once the introduction is done, the orientation is done of the chapter, then things go very fast. Basically, Krishna will explain what is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas in all the classification. So first thing is, 16 chapters spoke about demons. Demons are the people who don't worship God. Demons are the people who don't follow Shastras. But what about those people? Arjuna's question is, those who worship but not according to Shastras. Now, this is the majority of the population of Kali Yuga. हम सब के लिए इसलिए 17th chapter बहुत important है कलयुग के लोगों के लिए. So then Krishna says these people will come under 3 modes. And they're nourished by 3 modes. How they nourished by 3 modes? We spoke about it. And lastly, for the last verse for today that we spoke about, the first parameter that determines which guna it is based on the object of your worship. If your object of worship is Devi Devta, it is Sattva. The object of your worship is some person or a demon, then it is Rajo. The object of your worship is ghost, spirits and hobgoblins, then that is Tamas. Now, if your object of worship is Krishna, then we are under which mode? Krishna hai to Sattva guna. Okay, anyone else?
Beyond all, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Sattva.
beyond modes. You don't come under 3 modes. Mode matlab hatkadi. Sattva gun yani ki सोने की हथकड़ी. रजोगुण यानी कि चांदी की हथकड़ी. तमोगुण यानी कि लोहे की हथकड़ी. हथकड़ी is हथकड़ी. A person with सोने की हथकड़ी cannot say, देख मेरा सोने का हथकड़ी है. वो बोलेगा पागल है. हथकड़ी is हथकड़ी. You are also criminal. Criminal is criminal. It doesn't matter. Correct? So similarly, a person who worships Krishna is beyond 3 modes. Okay, we'd like to pause here and officially we'd like to end here. But if there are any questions, we can definitely ask. So we'd like to have first question from Ram Chiranjeev Prabhu because his hands is up. Unka haath dard nahi hona chahiye na. Isliye I will give him the first chance. Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead and ask your question.
Prabhuji, like I heard from some devotees who are in mode of ignorance, they worship Lord Shiva. Ignorance.
It's going to come ahead anyways, but I'll give you a hint. The methodology of worship is also one categorization. This is currently the object of worship. There's a categorization called methodology of worship that we will see later. And the methodology, which is the approach for Shiva, is actually tamasic. The object is not tamasic, but the methodology is tamasic. That is why it comes under tamagun. Is it okay? Yeah. Shekhar Prabhu? Online participants active हो गए आज से. आप लोग, they're good students actually. They're my students for quite some time. 6-7 years they have been practicing bhakti. Shekhar Prabhu is very senior. Yes.
Like different modes we worship like that. Is there any different modes in bhakti also? Like
Yes, there are different modes in bhakti also, which is explained in Bhagavad, 3rd canto, 29th chapter. That's because Bhagavatam starts from bhakti, na? But Gita means to make you reach to bhakti. Bhakti tak pahunchana isko. Koi bhi ho, any random person sitting in Gita class should come to devotee. And Bhagavatam is for the devotees. How from a devotee you become a pure devotee. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is for pure devotees. How different ecstasies are shown by pure devotees. That is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So like that it goes. Gita में कोई भी आ जाओ, पढ़ो, भक्त बनो. भक्त बनने के बाद भागवतम करो. भागवतम से शुद्ध भक्त बनो. शुद्ध भक्त बन गए, चलो चैतन्य चरितामृत. May now exhibit different ecstasies. Preach. Got it? Na? So there are devotees also in 3 modes. This comes in the teachings of Kapila, 3rd canto, 29th chapter, 8, 9, 10. These 3 shlokas. Abhisandaye ho himsam dhammam matsare mevo sambrambi pitak bhavam mai kurya satamasi. Beautifully explained. We'll discuss some other time that. Okay. Any questions from audience over here? Yes, so we'll. Yes.
So, is it going to come next that, so let's say if you're worshipping Krishna, but not again according to the Shastra. I'm a worshipper of Krishna. You understand now what I'm doing? These, then it will Is it will fall in Sattvagun? Or
Yes.
Then it will fall in Sattvagun.
It will come under not a Sattvagun. Sattvagun because of object. Again. It may not be in Sattvagun. It depends on method also.
Yeah, that's
Like
what
this
I-
fellow is taking pasta and putting in the mouth of Krishna. Yes. So I was telling, this is ignorance. You're offending the deity.
I've seen many people, talk about Laddu Gopal and getting too much emotional about it in a very different manner.
This will all be
I've
coming.
seen those kind of examples I've heard.
Yeah. I mean to say they become very sentimental.
Very, very simple.
Yeah. And
Too
they're
much sentiment.
very dogmatic also in
Very
their
dogmatic.
talk.
Okay.
They don't have philosophy behind it like that. So this is going to come ahead. It's going to come ahead. That will come in their methodology again. Yes. Suman Prabhu. If you can unmute, everyone else also will be able to hear you because I know lip reading.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry, I just forgot to unmute, Prabhu. Prabhu, so I'm asking that, so like the persons who just offer their prayers to God, like while doing some offerings, so and like does not do any other kind of worships. So that is under which guna, Prabhu? Like, is it Sattva or
Again, your
or
all questions are on next class. Ask me next class. Method mein aega. It'll all come
Okay.
under methods. Come ahead.
Okay,
Next.
okay, Prabhu.
Aage.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
No
Krishna.
problem. Yeah. So now there's a question on the chat. Prabhuji, as per 3.27 Bhagavad Gita, it said material nature influences our activities. Material nature doesn't influence your activity. Please read 3. Prakriti kriyamanani. Material natures do your activities. Soul has absolutely no control over the body. No. Soul desires, material energy does the activity. That's what is explained. Not influence. So aren't our desires also influenced by material nature? Yes. Desires are influenced by material nature, definitely. But it is always our choice. Distraction is a conscious choice. Our life is full of choices. And our choices decide our future. So material nature will keep saying shh, 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 shh. वो बोलते रहेंगे सत्व रजस तमस. You have the Bhagavad Gita, there was a photo. There's one of the pictures. Come, I'll show you the picture. Mostly must be there. Very interesting photo. I'll show them first. Yeah, saw this? So this is the picture. So first time I saw this picture, I got there's a man with 3 wives. And all 3 are controlling his life. What a guy. देखा ये आदमी इसके 3 पत्नी है. There are actually 3 modes of nature.
And they're not even controlling it from the earth, actually, they're controlling it from somewhere. Imagine actually fair on that.
So point is, as per the desire, the material nature is moving the body. The person is desiring, the material natures, they operate. That is the meaning. And they will influence also. They'll influence also. Just like you go to waiter, you desire, you will get dosa. But they'll say, or kuch. We also have other items like chow mein hai, patties hai, desserts hai. Kya lenge? They will ask, right? Menu card to दिखाएंगे कम से कम, pictures दिखाएंगे. They will try to influence. You to take something. Correct? कुछ तो ले लो. And sometimes person says, ठीक है मेरे पास इतना नहीं, credit card नहीं लाया, पैसा भी नहीं, मैं बर्तन मांज लूँ, लेकिन खाऊंगा. So some people may do that also. They may get into debt and do it. So that's all. So influence will go on. The influence of Maya will always be there. Correct. So our desires can be, but we get influenced. Desires are influenced, definitely. But ultimately, soul has free will. Na? Desire apna kaam hai. We can. Wonderful session, Prabhuji, especially getting something we desired in the past and we praying to the Lord for not requiring it anymore is something I really like. Thank you for appreciating that. Good reflection. Can we revere demigods like Hanuman? Hanuman is not a demigod at all. He's a devotee, pure devotee of Lord. We should revere him. In fact, we should revere him for the service that he does, voluminous service. We should revere him for the pure chanting that he does. Yes, we should revere him for being not at all distracted, firm in the search of Mother Sita. We should. And we can pray. Yes, definitely you can pray to him. There's no problem. Staying alone in a room is toxic. Fearing to move out is not helping me other ways also. Okay. So there's a person, he's just trying to reveal the heart that Prabhuji, मैं दिन भर room में पड़ा रहता हूँ. And I know this is a very toxic experience. Eventually you will become a toxic person. Yeah. Fearing to move out. At the same time, बाहर निकलूंगा तो I'm fearful. So this is typically tamogun. Typical tamogun has come. So I would request such a devotee, please, once a week, it's compulsory you should meet your mentor. Come, do some service in temple. Sit and chant rounds with devotees. You should do it. Your Sundays should be spiritually fun days. Yes, spiritual fun के साथ भरा होना चाहिए. Don't stay alone in room. You will become a ghost. Bhoot banoge. Prabhuji, praying to Kali is also worship in Tamogun. The object of worship is a Devi. The method, again, it all depends on method also. So it's a product of everything. Sirf ek cheez nahi hai. One last thing, it's very big. I will end with this. Prabhuji, dealing with desire, suppressing them, or by making the mind understand the consequences doesn't suffice many times, Prabhuji. It's like running away from something attracts more. Chanting is not helping to the extent it is required. What is the best practical way to deal with it, Prabhuji? Need, compelling, association. How to make the mind strong to follow the righteous path? Just be with the right people, the devotees. You need association. Correct? You need right association. आपको संगत की आवश्यकता है. A comes first always. You start with A. आपके लाइफ में सब कुछ है, A मिसिंग है लगता है, इसलिए कुछ नहीं हो रहा. Then C, B, nothing will work. You don't have A, your B, C, D, everything is gone. It will go to a toss. That's why once a week, powerful. This Sangha is very good Sangha. Once a week we come, we dwell on Shastras, we churn, we go. And what is the Sangha improvement? How do you understand the Sangha is growing? That's one. Number two, there has to be Prabhu karna kya aage bataiye. Then coming forward to chant the names. Coming forward to read at least whatever jo bhi shlok aapne sikhaye will go and read. Through the week. 4 श्लोक ही कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन पढ़ लेंगे, परपोर्ट के साथ पढ़ेंगे, प्रभुपाद का एक्सप्लेनेशन पढ़ेंगे. And wanting Prabhuji, आपके और भी लेक्चर होते हैं क्या और कोई? That's the next question. So these all things, are there any other lectures also we can attend? So this is a sign of growth. Yes, association ही grow होता है. You association, if you're relishing, you're growing through association means you want more association. Yes. Now we have BYC association. Haribo. Hare Krishna. So thank you all very, very much for your very wonderful, being a very wonderful audience and wonderful participation. We would like to close.